Hello, my name is Melissa Harper, and I would like to take a few minutes to talk to you about online classes in the Family Sciences Department at Texas Woman's University. The first slide just goes into what I feel are my qualifications to speak on this subject. I'm not going to go through them with you, but you can read them if you're interested. But I will say that I have worked for several years in online classes and I've been an online student myself. So I just wanted to address three of the top issues that seem to come up every semester with online students. The first one is that online classes are easier. And there are two ways to look at this. Some students think, oh, online classes take less time than face-to-face classes where you go sit in a classroom with the professor and the rest of your classmates. That is not necessarily true, because remember that if you're meeting in a classroom, that's 3 hours a week that are allocated to that class, and then you have your homework and your additional assignments outside of class. If you're taking an online class, you are responsible for the content in those 3 hours that's been put online for you, and you have to do the additional assignments and homework that the professor expects. So it doesn't take less time, and in many cases it takes a little bit more time. And just because you've never had a problem in a face-to-face class doesn't mean that you won't find some challenges in online learning, because there's a different set of skills or an additional set of skills that you need to have to work effectively in an online class. You need to be motivated. There's not going to be someone who's meeting with you twice a week to hold you accountable. You're going to need good time management skills. The deadlines will be posted for you. It will be up to you to make sure that you meet those deadlines. And you'll need some self-direction. There will be resources that you need to be able to go find on your own, be it online or physically going to a library and looking, or whatever the course requires. But if you struggle in any of those three or all of those three, you need to recognize that that's going to be a challenge for yourself, and you're going to need to work to overcome that. Another myth about online classes is that they're self-paced. They're not really self-paced. You do have some discretion about when you complete the work, but you will have deadlines, and the professors will expect you to meet those deadlines. And unless you have an extreme extenuating circumstance, professors are not going to accept late work in online courses, just like many of them don't accept late work in face-to-face classes. The second thing I put on here, even with deadlines, I can do all the work whenever I want. That's not true in all classes. It's true in some classes, but in other classes you may have group work that needs to be completed online, and your group may have to meet in a chat room, or the group may impose deadlines. I know in some of the classes I work in, we have weekly chats that, while they are optional, the students who attend those chats do much better in the course than the students who don't. So those chats are only offered once a week, and the students have to make themselves available when the professor is available to moderate that chat. So you do have some leeway in that you don't have to be on campus at a fixed time every week, but there will be some restrictions to your schedules, and there will be some times when you will have to make choices about schoolwork versus your personal life. So just be aware of that. And finally, online classes can be done anytime and anywhere. I wish that statement was a true statement, but that's not always true. Just because you have a computer doesn't mean that everything will go right all of the time. You need a reliable computer, and you need reliable internet access. If you don't have those things, then you need to know that in your schedule you can go somewhere where you have access to those things, be it a library or your parents' house or a friend's house, because your reliable internet connection and your reliable computer are critical components of doing online learning. And the final thing I have here, if you have technical difficulties, you're sure your professor will understand. No, not necessarily. I don't pretend to speak for all professors in the department, but the professors that I have worked for, that is not an acceptable excuse for not getting your work done. Your computer and your internet connection are your ride to class, so to speak, just like your car or bus transportation would be your ride to campus. And you need a backup plan if your computer or your internet connection goes down. If you waited till the last minute to complete an assignment and your internet connection goes down, you need to know that your next door neighbor can help you out with that, or you need to know where there's an internet cafe or a local library or whatever. You need to have that backup plan before you ever start classes. I hope this is somewhat helpful. There are many resources online that list a lot of other myths about online learning, but I wanted to keep this short and sweet, and hopefully this will help you think about problems before you encounter them and help you have a great and successful semester at Texas Woman's University.